Well, we got some great insights from the panel. We had some delegates from Angola as well as the EU. And basically, people wanted to know exactly the short and long-term benefits that we're going to gain from it, from the mining side, also from the social and economic side. Some of the issues that came up was that, one, they wanted to see what kind of benefit, especially for the stakeholders in Northwestern Province, they could gain. I think on the second one was to think a bit further than what we're doing at the moment, because what's happening is that most of the activities we're engaging in are mostly short-term. We have to have a long-term approach.
Good morning, Solwezi. We are still right here in Solwezi as Team Financial Insights. This is day 2 of the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry Investment and Business Expo that is taking place at the 𝗙𝗲𝗍 Technology Center right here in Solwezi. We're still going to be bringing you more insights, and I am your presenter, Chimwemwe Lungu. I'm going to be having different conversations with different delegates that are going to be attending the Business and Investment Expo right here at 𝗙𝗲𝗍 Technological Center. So do stay tuned right here on Financial Insights for more insights and more. Remember, get to know.
Such as the one we're having under the Lobito Corridor.
Services be Chimwemwe is a delegate from the European Union. He was also
Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing and their dedication and consistency in hosting this important business and investment expo. And to have come this far and have brought us now into the 4th edition shows that they have found their feet and they're becoming a very, very important convener for programs such as the one we are having under the Lobito Corridor. This commitment is testament to the Chamber's vision and dedication and how they want to bring everyone on board, driving local growth, but not forgetting the global content. They've been showing and they've been great ambassadors of what our region has. And I can see they've gone beyond the Northwestern Province. They've now touched the rest of the region, and I think that that's how it's supposed to be. Guest of honor, this year's theme, Sustainable Growth through Regional Integration and Value Addition, harnessing opportunities in the Lobito Corridor, is not just a vision. It is a call to action. It is actually an invitation to us all to work together, to shape a brighter future for our people, our businesses, and our nation. Let me borrow from the words of our brother Nason from the Angolan consulate. He said, "This is about us. This is about ourselves. This is about all those who care about better livelihoods and better nations. This is about a journey to conquer our world." And I now see that there are no impossibilities. But as traditional leaders, guests of honor, we are not mere spectators in the story of development. And we shall not be comfortable to be mere spectators. Being custodians of our people's welfare, culture, the future, but if anything, also the custodians of the past, the present and the future. I think that is too huge a responsibility to sit back and be mere spectators. We hold in trust the dynamics, the resources, such as land, that are required for the development that we're talking about.
I am currently joined by Nathan, who is the country manager at Rolls-Royce. He was part of a very insightful panel discussion. So I'm going to ask him to just shed more light on some of the insights that he brought out on today's panel discussion. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much, Chimwemwe. It's been always a pleasure to be on Financial Insights. Today, basically, we did have a panel discussion, and I think we ended the day where we were discussing sustainability and the Lobito Corridor and how they actually come together. Well, we got some great insights from the panel. We had some delegates from Angola as well as the EU, and basically, people wanted to know exactly the short and long-term benefits that we're going to gain from it, from the mining side, also from the social and economic side. Some of the issues that came up was that, one, they wanted to see what kind of benefit, especially for the stakeholders in Northwestern Province, they could gain. I think on the second one was to think a bit further than what we're doing at the moment, because what's happening is that most of the activities we're engaging in are mostly short-term. We have to have a long-term approach. That being that, I'd like to see how we, as stakeholders that's in the mining sector, can engage. So we did share some of the projects that the mining companies are engaging in. That's in terms of economic zones outside Kolumbila and Lumwana, but also in terms of, on the ESG side, the social license for us to operate. And we did ask a couple of questions, but basically it was that what will we do after mining has left and what will we leave with the community behind. And I think the chief did allude to that we would like to be very part of the development of the corridor, and they would like to have a lot of information dissemination, because he says at the grassroots point, people didn't have an idea or know exactly what was happening in terms of the corridor, where it was passing, and also what would be the impact in the community, because there will be some displacement, as well as also knowing that, how can I say, where could they get in, where could they create the wealth, the opportunities. So I believe it was a very good discussion. We learned a couple of things, and I believe as the fourth Expo has been held, as we go along in the series of the expos we're going to have in the following years, we should actually start building up towards the vision we need to have for the province.
Absolutely amazing. First of all, I'd love to add that this particular coverage for the 2 days by Financial Insights was powered by Rolls-Royce, and we'd love to say thank you so much for sponsoring our trip to Solwezi to come and cover this auspicious event. Building on from that, we would like to find out from a Rolls-Royce perspective, and also being one of the delegates of this amazing event that took place today, what are some of the benefits of an expo like this today? What do you feel are some of the benefits, not just for the community, but also for Zambia at large?
What I saw today was that when I went through the various stands that we had here today, one was that we've shown that a lot of the locals have capacity to supply and provide services within the mine. What I'd also say is that we shouldn't just focus our efforts in supplying directly into the mine. There are a lot of downstream benefits, because like we said, in the service sector, construction, hospitality, education, there's so many opportunities, because we have to support the surrounding communities. And like we said, in a sustainable way, we're trying to think further past when the mining has ended. So what can we build now, and what can we create? And if you went through the different stands, even now as we're going towards the what we'd like to achieve, the Lobito Corridor. These construction companies can be engaged to actually build the infrastructure required to support this project that we're going to go into. Also in terms of, how would I say this, our ability to remain the project in the province after it's gone. There was a challenge made to all of us that we should actually start investing. So it's a challenge to Chimwemwe to come to Northwestern, find a piece of land, go about it the right way, plan, and see what kind of value you can bring yourself. We would like to see financial insights with a base within Northwestern, and actually from then on, you'll be able to disseminate the information as you're doing, and instead of traveling here, be a part of the community that's also here continuously.
Definitely, Nathan, definitely. We will definitely look into that. Thank you so much for having an insightful conversation with us at Financial Insights. We're always greatly honored to have you on our platform.
It's only a pleasure, and thank you so much for being a part of our Expo.
Good evening, and thank you so much for staying tuned on Financial Insights and following all the insights that we've been bringing you on this particular platform that have been taking place at the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry Business and Investment Expo, taking place right here in Solwezi. I am currently joined by the CEO of Migodi Auric, Mr. Cletus Mwiinga. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on Financial Insights.
Pleasure is ours. Thanks for covering us.
Thank you so much. You were, first of all, part of a panel discussion. You gave a very insightful presentation rather today, and the conversation was really, really rich. Please just kindly highlight some of the highlights, important points that the general public can really pick out from the presentation that you gave today.
I think the starting point is that we all have to play a role in developing this country. And as you heard from the ZRA representation, who are also sponsors of this event, tax is a critical input in our development process. What we are doing as Migodi Auric Limited is twofold. One is to develop financial products and services for the unsaved and underserved communities who at this stage don't play a vital role in tax contribution. For instance, one of the key sectors we are focused on is artisanal small-scale mining, which sector we think on its own calculated, development agreements signed already. We have 15 districts on board, would deliver 225 billion in terms of taxes. Now that's on a high level, macro level. At local authority level, too, the local authorities will become independent because this financing also, they will have their own levies and charges within that same model. Finally, at the chiefdoms, you heard what Chief Munena talked about. He says, why should money be raised here? Taken to, that point. Yes, so we've developed a model that works along those lines where the three stages are taken care of and in a manner that then creates sustainable model for development. That's what we've done. Of course, with a lot of background to that, we did a lot of research, 6 years. We set up pilot camps in Usangazi, Luano, and Rufunsa. Now we're rolling out countrywide. We are now in 5 provinces. Here in Northwestern Province, we're in Solwezi and Mufumbwe, and we'll be spreading to the other 9 districts.
Amazing. Migodi Auric, actually one of the partners, or let's say sponsors, of this year's investment and business expo that is taking place in Solwezi. What was the motivation behind joining some of the sponsors and becoming one of the sponsors of the 2024 Business and Investment Expo?
First of all, let's also accept the fact that the Chamber of Commerce and Industry here is doing a great job. The President, 𝗙𝗲𝗁𝗁 and her team, very exciting to work with. So our interest is to collaborate with stakeholders like that. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, So we heard about the investment expo through our partners, ZRA, when we were doing the Northern Province, similar event like this one. And so ZRA invited us to come along. And true, what they told us about this team here, it's a dynamic team, exciting. You've seen the massive turnout. I mean, if you have Chief Munena talk like that at this event. So for us, working with stakeholders who are like-minded is something that comes natural.
We started our journey of fiscalization way back in 2018. Then from 2018, we had what we used to call the EFD, or electronic fiscal device. So most of you would have seen that gadget there. It's a physical gadget, basically, okay? So we had that gadget. The idea was to find a way to make use of technology, to make business transaction simple, to make business transaction electronic. So when we started with the EFD, or the electronic physical device, it gave us a bit of challenges from the feedback that we are getting from you, the taxpayers. Some of the challenges related to the EFD was that the gadget itself, the lifespan was not too good. We would give you the gadget after some weeks, maybe it will develop a fault with the battery and some other technical challenges. So because of that, the feedback we are getting from you, from 2019, 2022, we started discussing on how we can find a better solution.
Hello, thank you so much for staying tuned. I am currently joined by Mr. Matakala, who is the CEO for LVSA Zambia Limited. I'm going to ask him to fully introduce himself and also what LVSA Zambia Limited is all about and some of the services that they have on offer. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on Financial Insights.
Thank you. Like you said, my name is Thabo Matakala. I'm the CEO for LVSA Zambia Limited, an abbreviation of Leading Valve Suppliers of Africa Zambia Limited. We have collaborated, partnered with the LVSA group of companies in South Africa, which is actually a manufacturing company of the valves. We have a whole range of valves. We are situated in Lusaka, but we have come to the Northwestern Chamber Expo to just exhibit the products that we have. We've got a number of valves which are actually manufactured, and fortunately we even have the staff that has come in from LVSA Group. The whole essence of having a presence here of LVSA Group is for us to cut down on the suppliers in the mining industry, because the valves that they manufacture are in the mining industry, water industry, petrochemical industry, power generation industry, and sugar industry. So basically it's to cut down on the cost of the supplier. Instead of them going all the way to South Africa, we are here. Not only that, we are also providing refurbishing of the valves. So the technical know-how has been brought in, and we are we're rolling it out for the country, because you find that these industries end up taking their valves to be refurbished elsewhere, or they just discard them and buy new ones. But we're bringing a new concept to them, and believing that with this expo we'll be able to be exposed as well.
Absolutely amazing. Give a word to the people that are going to be watching this interview. Encourage them to visit your offices, and also just, encourage them to come forward, to come and visit you at your offices. Or better still, because we're going to be uploading this interview before the expo is closed, encourage them to come and visit your stand today at the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry Investment and Business Expo.
Okay, I would encourage all those that are interested in the items that we are exhibiting. We're just at the entrance. We've been blessed with the entrance spot. So anybody who comes into the expo will be able to see us. Then we'll be able to sit down and see what they can do, especially the local suppliers. Instead of them going out there, Googling and finding out where they can get these products from China, from wherever, we are here in Zambia. We have our presence. So all you have to do is come through, and instead of spending those dollars, you spend kwacha to buy the valves.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matakala. We really do appreciate having this interview with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for staying tuned. I am currently joined by Mr. Kapwepwe, who is and who has been the master of ceremony right here at the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry Business and Investment Expo happening in Solwezi. Mr. Kapwepwe, thank you so much for joining us on Financial Insights.
Thank you so much. Being from the entertainment industry, when you say Mr. Kapwepwe, it sounds like, whoa. Yeah, it's been a great highlight. We need this as any sector needs this, but to focus on mining and what the Northwest Chamber is doing, it's amazing stuff. I kid you not, an assembly like this one brings the end user close to the service provider, a product producer, and that way they can have a one-on-one talk. I do know that there are times when you stock up your store and you're targeting a certain client, but you actually don't understand what their problem is. But it's such an expo that gives that opportunity.
Absolutely amazing. Being the master of ceremony for the it's actually been day 2 today. Give us an overview of this particular expo. What have been some of your highlights actually emceeing this big event that is happening in Solwezi?
First of all, it's a privilege. I'm privileged to be hosting the 3rd season of the 4, and I have a good picture of how it has grown from where it's coming from. We've had an increase in number of exhibitors, I could tell that, and the quality of the exhibition has been amazing. The panel discussions have been really organic and real to show you what's happening in the industry, some of the challenges, and also some of the great solutions that are coming through. The Chamber has done some good work in the background, so me as the one mastering the ceremony, it's like just knitting the dots together, making my work much easier. It also gives me an opportunity to interact with the various players in the industry and maximize the opportunities. If somebody is watching this and never attended this expo, you need to diarize this for next year. It's growing bigger, meaning that it's giving extra opportunities and also wider exposure for anyone who would be interested in exhibiting their brand.
You mentioned that you are from the entertainment industry in your introduction. Why do you feel it is important to hold such kind of an amazing event? What are some of the benefits that really come with such types of events, especially it being hosted in Northwestern Province?
Yes, I do come from a 25-30-year media industry, but I've also gotten opportunities to get into supply of service and products to the mining sector. And getting in there, registering your company with a particular mine is one thing, but getting the jobs and also getting to supply those jobs is another. And that's just the key important thing of this expo. It will communicate, you will be able to have an opportunity to communicate the service you have and the product you have to the end user. And also, very much more important is that the end user will be able to explain to you what they're looking for. I'll give an example. A work suit generally is just a work suit. But when you get into the industry, there's a specific work suit for the smelter, a specific work suit in an acid environment, a specific work suit, for example, in an oil field environment. So for me as a supplier, I'll just go and say, okay, let me get a navy blue work suit. I've seen it in a store and put it up in your display, and it's not being sold. It's because perhaps you do not understand what the market is looking for. So at such an expo, you're able to have that one-on-one. As a matter of fact, day 2 has given an opportunity that mine end users will go through the stands to actually now explain what their issues are and then give an opportunity for the service providers to respond to those needs. And that's just commerce.
Thank you so much. That has really been insightful. Any last message that you have to the viewers out there? Whatever it is that you would love to communicate with them, especially in relation to the 2024 Investment and Business Expo.
Yeah. When you say last word, it sounds like your final word. Yeah, not literally though, but you are missing out if you're not here. If you miss this one, well, we could be confident that the Chamber has it inked on the calendar next year. So we might as well go to Northwest Chamber of Commerce and Industry socials, particularly Facebook, and take a look at their calendar. You can actually even engage them. You can participate as a sponsor, you can participate as a corporate participant, or even a resource person. Let's say you are a geologist and then you've got some information that needs to be brought out. Why not? So it's an opportunity for you to showcase what you can do and also to see what others can do, and you can also synergize and make the product or the service much more valuable.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. I am currently joined by Mr. Massimo, who is a delegate from the European Union. He was also attending the two-day event by the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm going to have a conversation with him just to find out a little bit more on what are some of his highlights attending this particular investment and business expo. Mr. Massimo, thank you so much for joining us on Financial Insights.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for being here and organizing these great events. It's a momentous occasion for Zambia and for Northwestern Province. The Northwestern Province, you know, it has always been a province remote, not really connected to the rest of the country, but it's a province rich in resources. And now with the Lobito Corridor, it will be a province connected not only to the rest of the country, but also to the Atlantic Ocean. The European Union has signed with other parties a memorandum of understanding to develop the corridor. And the corridor will not be only a corridor for the mining sector, will be also a corridor to develop the entire province, so working on also other sectors, developing value chains across sectors. So this is a great occasion, and an expo like this one shows the interest of local stakeholders and private companies.
Absolutely amazing. What are some of the highlights for you, Mr. Massimo, in the 2 days that this particular event has been running? What are some of your key takeaways from this year's Investment and Business Expo?
The most important thing that I have noticed, there has been an open dialogue between the parties, between private companies, representative from the government, and the representative from the mining sector as well, on many important issues related to the development of the province and how the mining sector can interact with the other sectors and the local communities. That is very much important, especially from the European Union point of view, because we really believe that the application of ESG standard, environmental, social and governance standards, is extremely important to have a sustainable, inclusive growth.
Absolutely amazing. Any message you have to the people out there, just encourage them to really take part in such kind of an expo, seeing that you've mentioned some of the benefits that really come with companies participating in a business expo like this one. Any message that you have for the people that are going to be watching this particular interview?
The message is that Northwestern Province has been far from the rest of the country for a long time. Now the province is getting new investment in the mining sector, is getting more attention because of the Lobito Corridor. So it is really important for the people in the province, for the administrations, to be ready and embrace the new development. That will be related to all the activities that will start moving around the new investment in the mining sector, but also around the Lobito Corridor. And it's not only related to the mining sector, but it is related to agricultural, tourism, and all the interesting discussion that we had during these 2 days.
Thank you so much, Mr. Massimo, for according us an opportunity to have an interview with you.
Sorry again?
Thank you so much for according us an opportunity to have this interview with you. It's really been insightful.
Yeah, thanks. The music, there was a moment where the music was a bit higher.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.